Okay, so just a notice before this video starts, I did not script this whatsoever. I'm just going into this, just speaking my thoughts because I am not good at writing scripts. So I apologise if there's any stuttering or weird cuts in audio, it's just sort of me trying to think of what to say. Also, I think this is my first time doing a video like this in which I review something rather than showcasing something I've made or played, so apologies for that as well, I'm new to this. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say. I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so I've played all 100 games in the hunt, gotten all the quests done, I have 100 badges. So I'm going to be giving my reviews on the hunt as a whole, not really talking about specific games in depth aside from a few. I'm going to be talking about what I thought was good, what I thought wasn't really good. So yeah, let's get into it. Also, just like one last thing, while I was recording this, they added a 6th item you can earn, so you hear me sometimes say there's only 5 items, there are 6 that you can earn for free. I just didn't know at the time, obviously. But yeah, let's get into it. Now the first game on this list, which is in no particular order, it's just the games that I like, is Steep Steps. Now, unlike a lot of other games in the hunt, which didn't really have hunt-specific quests, which is unfortunate, but I'll get more into that later, Steep Steps added a new mountain for the event, and you didn't have to complete the full thing, it was only the first 100 meters or so. And you had to, whilst ascending, collect 5 different items for a quest line in which then you'd receive the badge and a ladder in game. Now, I've played Steep Steps before, I don't play it much anymore, but I've played it before. It's a difficult game, but it is quite fun, especially with friends. And the fact that they didn't just take the lazy route of adding a non-specific quest, like, oh, play the game for this long, or ascend this many meters, is something I quite liked. Now, it is a bit more of a difficult quest compared to some of the other games in the hunt, but I don't really mind that, because if you really struggle so much at the quest, which I didn't find the mountain too hard, but I know I've played the game before, so I may be a bit biased in saying that, you can ask other people for help, you can collide with other players, you can use their ladders, so you could just ask someone to help you if you're really finding it that difficult. Now, another game I liked was Please Donate. It wasn't really hunt specific, but it was nice that it had an actual special quest line, and it was quite special given the fact that Please Donate is just meant to be a Robux donating game. I quite like the direction they went with the little mini game and stuff. It was nice, even though it wasn't really that hunt related or game related. It was cool. As much as I'd like to get into more detail on games, this video is already getting long enough, so I'm just going to cut it short. Point is, few games had pretty good quest lines. They were quite fun, but most of them weren't really so great. Okay, so now we're getting into the bad games, and I'm going to be honest, there were quite a few, but I'm just going to get into my least favourite. So, I really disliked this one. Football Fusion 2. So, the quests are quite easy in theory. It's so long as you're a new player. I think existing players have more difficult quests, but if you're a new player, the quests are to catch a ball and to tackle a player. Now, to tackle a player is quite easy. You just go up to an enemy that's carrying the ball and run into them. I think you have to click as well, I don't know. It's so memorable, I don't even remember what I have to do. But yeah, you tackle the enemy. Now the difficult part is catching the ball, because interceptions don't count. Your teammate has to pass to you, and nobody uses teamwork in this game. So you have to spend ages just hoping that the ball comes your way from a teammate, and then you have to hope that you can actually catch it. This was the second last game I did out of all of them, because it was that annoying. I'd attempted it before, and I just gave up for the time being because it was that annoying. See, for example, Steep Steps had a good implementation of teamwork because you didn't have to do it, but you know, it helped. If you weren't good at the game, you could get some friends or random people and just say, hey, can we climb the mountain together? Can we help each other out? But no, in this one, you're relying on other players to pass you the ball in order to do it. You have to get someone to pass the ball to you or near you, which is I don't really like the design of that. If it was like win a game as a team, I wouldn't mind, but it's just so specific that it's just an annoying quest. It's not fun, not even to mention the fact that it's not hunt specific. I feel like a better implementation could have been to pass the ball to another player, if anything, rather than vice versa, a player having to pass something to you, because then at least you're somewhat in control of it. Now, this is going to be a more general thing, but I honestly, just so many games didn't have a hunt-themed quest. There were games that had specific quest lines themed around the hunt in some way. Then others were like, okay, yeah, play this for 15 minutes or get this many points. I just don't like how that is, because it doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel like you're hunting for anything. Now, I can't entirely blame this on the game devs, because from what I've seen, some games had really short notice saying that they could be included in the hunt. I saw a screenshot of someone apparently getting a message on the 12th of March saying that their game could have been included. I don't know how real that is, but still. But regardless of that fact, it feels like some developers didn't even try. Like, I think one game in particular, I can't remember which one it is, it was literally just play for 15 minutes. And then, yeah, sure, they did change it to something else. It was to beat 100 stages or something, which isn't really much better, but it's better than, hey, wait for 15 minutes then you get the badge. Actually, one game in specific that comes to mind with not trying with quests, Pet Simulator 99. Now you'd think with all the, you know, all the money they make, all the stuff they've added, you'd think they could include a pretty decent quest line, right? You had to reach the 20th area of the game, that's it, and I've already done that, so literally as soon as I joined, I got the badge for the game. Now I'm going to talk about the hunt as a whole, not specific games, specific quest lines, whatever. First, like, big point I want to make is there are way too little items compared to how many games you have to play to get them all. There's 5 items that you can earn for free. In order to get all of them, you need to play 95 different games and do their quests. Not only is that like barely anything compared to the old hunts where you'd get an item per game, it's also just the fact that every day they have a different limited time item on sale. Like, surely they could have repurposed some of those for, you know, more items in between the pre-existing ones, right? And I don't really like the fact that they've got a gold tier pass for the items. But my main concern is with the lack of items overall rather than the gold pass itself. Now, keeping with the lack of items, I feel like 5 items for playing 95 games, a lot of people might not even bother trying to do it because they've probably got better things to do. They might be busy with other stuff, IRL stuff. Why would they spend hours getting 5 Roblox items? Linking into my next point, 5 Roblox items that just kind of look a bit generic almost. Like, sure, they look cool, but the egg hunt was so much more iconic in the fact that, you know, it was all eggs. It was Easter themed. If you saw someone with an egg for a head, you'd pretty much know that it's from the egg hunt. But now it's like, okay, cool, glowing wings, glowing crown. I mean, sure, obviously now you might know it's from the hunt, but it's just a lot less, like, noticeable than the egg hunt items, I guess, because even the older eggs, you know they're from the egg hunt. But maybe in the future, if they were to do more hunts, at least in this fashion, the items would become a bit sort of a bit less interesting, I guess. I don't really know how to say it, but I think I'm getting my point across, sort of. Now, obviously, 100 games, 5 items, whatever. I feel like rather than focusing on the quantity of games, they could have focused on the quality of each game's event. Now, I understand that the game devs are in control of their, you know, their quests, but they didn't need to get 100 developers for 100 different games. Well, I know some games share developers, but still, I just don't understand why they felt the need to get so many games when you could focus more on having developers make higher quality, more specific quests. I feel like that would have been better. Now, even if the quests were more difficult with the reduced amount of games, that would still be fine so long as the quests are fun and not annoying quests like quite a few of the games had in the hunt. Plus, if they were to feature less games, maybe then they'd be able to make an item specific to each game, which obviously would not only bring more rewards, but it would also make completing each game feel more special. because in the hunt, if you complete a game, cool, you get a badge, that contributes to something. But at least from my experience, it feels so much better. It felt so much better in the egg hunt when you'd get to the end of the game and you'd get an item at the end of it. And it was special to that game. It would show, hey, I did this in this event. It was nice. I feel like another thing they could have done is put more of a focus on smaller games rather than basically just inviting whatever game's popular at the moment. Because I feel like it would be nice to give smaller developers, who I'm sure are more than willing to, you know, create cool stuff for the hunt, it would be nice to give them a bit of a spotlight rather than focusing attention on the games that were already big. Plus, I kind of already touched on this earlier, but just the theme, it's a bit more loose than the egg hunt, because the egg hunts had a storyline, or at least I think most of them did, while this one's pretty much, okay, you're going back and forward in time in different games, which I feel like would be nice if the story was built up a bit more, because other than, oh, you're going back and forward in time, there's not really much else to it. And not only would, you know, having a proper story make the event more enjoyable, probably, it would also give game developers something to work off of, other than, yeah, you go back and forwards in time to collect things. Because from what I can tell, that's pretty much the only story around it. Now, my next point was going to be, if you have 100 badges, you have naught to show for it at the end, other than 100 badges in the game. But I've recorded this literally 5 minutes after they've just added an egg for having 100 badges, and I now have that egg, and I now have to remake the thumbnail for this video to show that I have the egg. So that's just great. We are Eggmen, we have the eggs. But yeah, I was going to complain about the fact that there's nothing to show you that you got 100 badges, only 95. And I feel like people are going to complain because previously you didn't have to beat all the games to get everything, but now you do. But yeah, it's nice that they added an egg for getting 100 badges. That way I can actually have something to show for the fact that I wasted hours on this event. At least now I have something to show that I got 100 and not 95. But yeah, I'm not going to go into too much more detail with my criticisms, but in short, quality over quantity, and maybe a few more rewards. I understand that they have to make their money through the gold pass and, you know, the sellable items, whatever. It's just, it would be nice to have more rewards. It would give players more of an incentive to actually play the games. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to end the video here because I did not realize how long it was getting. But yeah, I hope that video was alright. If you liked it, comment down below, give me some criticisms, you know, whatever. Yeah, also like the video and subscribe if you liked it and you want to see more stuff like this. Maybe I'll do more stuff like this in the future. Okay, bye.